Yo, we got this. Be a photographer. This is the sixth challenge. So, the challenge for it was alone in the crowd. And the challenge is to create a photo where something or someone is alone in a crowded situation. Singled out different solo. How was your subject alone? Now, the key to this is I think most people met the criteria for the last four parts, but the first part is the most important. Crowded situation. So they can be alone, but it also has to be clearly crowded. And I guess your interpretation of what is crowded is where your creativity comes into play. And I think that a lot of people got this one great. However, I think a lot of people also miss it. So I encourage you to look through people's submissions. Maybe if you're ever having trouble with something, look through what people have already submitted to kind of get some inspiration. And like I say, on the YouTube page, there's always an example link as well. Check that out. It's got a lot of good examples. But prize for this one today, I will tell you, prize is going to be SmugMug. You saw it. You saw it on that screen. SmugMug. It's right here. SmugMug. SmugMug is a website that I've used for a while. I think over 12 years now. And I used to sell my prints on it. It used to be my actual website. Now I use it more as a storage client thing. But it's really good, especially if you're starting out for portfolios and for selling photos, things like that. So we're going to give you a year-long plan to their portfolio level. So it's usually about 13 bucks a month, so that ends up being about $150 value for free. And it's a way for you to display your work online. And yes, so thank you SmugMug. And if you want to check it out, go to smugmug.com. They're a good site. They have all different levels for all different types and kinds of photographers. So check that out. I gotta take this bracelet off because it's getting in my way. But that's all. To the critique. You guys ready? So, Instagram critique. A lot of great submissions, like I said. So let's do my quick scroll through these. No, I accidentally hit Siri. Go away, Siri. I'm busy. So let's do a quick scroll through these. Go, 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 go. Lots of good ones. I picked out some favorites. Here they are. So, this one, Alone in the Crowd. I picked this one because it's very straightforward. And it's perfect. There's one egg that is different from the rest. Alone, and the situation is crowded because there's a lot of eggs. Ways to improve. I think your depth of field is done afterwards, maybe with a blur. I would encourage you to try to do it in camera, and if you can't, try to shoot in a different way. So for this one, what I don't like is the color of the tablecloth. So you have these eggs, they're portable. You can control the situation. I would say put them on a white background, maybe some pieces of paper laid out in the edges, shoot straight down or something like that, and think about how that would look. You could even still shoot the same angle, but just adding white all around the edges would change it so much. And you have control, you have it. So if you're going to do something, just do it right. It's okay to do it wrong, but as long as you tried your best, then you will learn the most. So think about that. I'm not saying you didn't try your best. I'm just saying here's some room to improve. If you reshoot it, send it my way. I'd love to check it out. So, good job, Garcia OP. Garcia original poster. All right, here we have Cassie Kloss, which is actually, or I haven't actually figured out if that's how you say your name, but I believe I've picked you before, and I just realized that right now because I remember that name. And I like this one because it's a little outside the box. You know, it's not conventionally crowded. There's only one person in it, but you are crowded because there's a lot of cranes. And to me, maybe you're thinking about something, your pose kind of says that, so maybe your crowded situation is more internal and you're representing it by having all these peace cranes around you. I don't know what it actually means. I have Flightless Birds. It looks like it's a song, so maybe that's what it has to do with. But anyway, either way, I love the black and white. I like your silhouette, while at the same time having a lot of detail and a lot of things going around in the background. And good job, good concept. All right, next we have Scruffy Tiger 1. T-I, Scruffy Tigger 1. So here's my photo for the Be a Photographer Challenge, and good job. It's fall right now. You got these colors, different colors of the leaves, changing colors. That's what this is. There isn't much I would change about this. I think it's really well done. Maybe take your whites slider in post and make it a little bit brighter, so that's just going to bring like the brightest parts of your image and bring them up a little bit. And I think that would make it pop just a little bit more. It looks like your highlights have been recovered a tiny bit or something like that. Maybe it was an overcast day. But that's my only suggestion. Other than that, great shot. Well done. All right, here we have Katie X. I keep I keep picking the same people and not knowing it. My fault. I think I've picked you already. But Alone in the Crowd, again, this one is another one that somebody obviously made. I'm assuming you didn't find this like this. And even if the safety pin in the middle was the same color, it would still be alone in a crowd. So the crowded situation is a lot of safety pins, and you have one that is alone. So well done. Ariana J. So I like this one because it is a little piece of cereal, and the rest of the cereal is different. You got one charm and none charms. You got some Honey Nut Cheerios, and you did a good job. Again, a lot of these things that I'm picking are, I'm trying to find images that I think are really good but need a little bit of tweaking. So when I say they need a little bit of tweaking, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means you can always improve. And I go through my own images and do this, and this is how you get better. You learn to critique your own work. After a shoot, I sit down and I think, what can I do better? So what I think you can do better is your crop. I think that a square crop would make a lot more sense. I don't really see any positive side to the crop you have chosen. The edges, you always want to keep edges like have a little bit of room between the edge. So your top edge is too close to your crop. Your bottom edge is almost too close, but just about right. And the side I think has too much. So bring those in, bring these up. Perfect image. Well done. I would make the color in the background, if you can Photoshop it, blue. That way it's going to bring out the Lucky Charm in the middle. So here we have George Yanj. I don't know how to say your name, but I like this image. I think it's really beautiful. I think it's really flattering light on your subject, and it almost looks like a composite, meaning it looks like you photographed this person at a different time than, I gotta like these photos, than the rest of it, but I think it might just be a long exposure. So easy to put on a pair of headphones and listen to the good music and shut out the world around you. I used lighting from the Zara home shot to light this and slower aperture to blur the people passing by. Thanks, Holly, for letting me take her photo. So my suggestion for you is this one's on the verge of not a clearly crowded situation, and I say that because I want to see more people. And I can see the blurry ones. I see about maybe 4 blurry people in the background, maybe more, it's hard to tell, and one that's kind of walking slower so you can see him better. I would like to see some in the foreground or something almost obstructing her view, maybe to her right, our left, and then have her move to the left a little bit more. And what that would do is it would kind of make her seem like she's in a circle of people, where right now it seems like she's in front and all the people are in back. I hope that makes sense. In addition, I would crop the side where you can see a little bit of the sky so it's all the black background. I think that looks really nice uniformly. So that's my suggestion. Really good shot though. This is cool. Definitely put some time into this, and very beautiful photo. Alright, here we have Thomas Sport L, Alone in the Crowd, and I saw a lot of people use matches. Actually, this one and the next one are both matches, and it's a really good idea. Really well done. This one, however, I think put a little bit more effort into it, so that's why I picked it. And what you did was, I'm assuming you poked these into a foam or stuck something out through something, and I think poked these in, lit one on fire, and it looks cool. And you could shoot this shot differently. I think there's a lot of ways to shoot this, not incorrectly, but not as good as you did. And I like the depth of field. I like the edit. I like the colors. I like that the red is a real only color other than the fire. And it obviously takes a little bit of time to get a shot like this where you can see the fire, because shooting the wrong lighting, you won't see it. And I just think it's a really pretty photo. I could almost use it on my wall. So well done. Good job. I think you captured the concept perfectly. Similar shot, same concept, but different. So same thing, matches, but a little bit different. And I like this because I think it's laid out really nicely. However, I wish the matches were more red, but if that's their color, that's fine. And I wish the background was more white, but if that's how you want it, that's okay too. So I guess I look for more of like the advertising-y photo. But Lucy Usher, you did a good job. Alone in the Crowd. I like it. Alright, here we have Gina Murphy Art. And I think this is funny because I looked at it and I just laughed. It makes absolutely no sense. It's kind of a style of photography where it's just a snapshot, but I think it still looks pretty good. it's just making me laugh. So well done. I'm sure you're a weird person in the best way possible. And whoever is your model, I guess they really don't have to deal with people knowing who they are, but it's funny. And I think for me, the only thing that can make this better would be if I think you used a flash. Maybe if you made everything else a little bit darker so this person popped a little bit more. but I also kind of like that flat look where nothing's really that bright, nothing's really that dark. It's all kind of the same mid-tone, highlighty range, if that makes sense. So well done. That's funny. Here we have no, I don't know how to, I'm just slaughter this. No pip intended. I don't know what that means, but hello. Alone in the crowd, interpret this as you will. This is my best shot and favorite theme, but this, not my best shot or my favorite theme, but I gave it a go. Sorry, I'm like a little bit terrible at reading sometimes. I love this. This is creative as heck. I agree. I think you did a good job. And I think that being creative, especially when it's something that doesn't inspire you, is a good skill to learn. I've had to shoot things in real life before where it wasn't something I was stoked on, but you still want to put your best foot forward and do your best work possible because that's what gets you hired and that's what people look for. So even at your worst, you want to be your best. And I think you did a good job. I'm not sure if there's a meaning behind the arrangement, and if there was one, I'm missing it, but I like it. It's just cool. And for me, I would just make sure I'll get rid of the shadow in the bottom right by the red. It doesn't really benefit the image, and I also wouldn't crop the edges off like you did on the blue one of these things. They're not M&Ms, they're something. So just play around with your crop a little bit more next time. Make sure it's all intentional. Think, why am I cropping this image this way? What is this? Look at every part of the image and see what you can change. So maybe take a few shots and review it for 10 minutes. Shut your eyes, review it again, see what you can do better. Okay, I chose this one because I think it's really simple but effective. Alone in the crowd. My bail box has been empty all week and I'm actually starting to miss the catalogs I never asked for. I didn't read your caption until just now, and that is amazing. That is awesome. I miss the catalogs I never asked for. That could be used as a, I don't know, I could say that in a lot of things in life, I feel like, but you did a good job. I like how it's cropped. I think you were very aware of what edges you were cropping out. I like how it's a lit. It's probably natural, maybe a flash. And I like that where the one that is open is located. So good job. Cool. Well done. All right. Last, we have Lydia, and this is the winner. And I liked Lydia's image, but I also like Lydia's caption. And there's a few ways I would improve this, but I think you did a really good job, especially with your coloring and lighting. Wow, beautiful. Really pops. Your sister, I believe, stands out really well, and it's definitely crowded because there are a lot of sheep or lamb around, sheep around her. So you said you live in New Zealand, and you don't live near a city, so you had to get a little creative because you couldn't go into a crowd of people. This is awesome. Things I would change about this photograph is I would put your sister even more with the sheep if they let her, or move her, if she was in the exact same spot, I would move her to the left, or you to the left. So move her to the left maybe 2 feet, or if you were to move to the right 5 inches and aim at her, it would put her head not on top of a sheep, and I think that would make it really cool. Another option would be to somehow, if you want to get really into this, leave your camera on a remote, shoot a few more photos and wait for some more sheep to appear in different areas and then Photoshop them all together. It looks like you have a pretty good understanding. You have photography in your name, so I'm assuming you're a photographer of Photoshop. So if you could make a composite, and you could, even if you only have 5 sheep, you can make it look like there's 50. But really good shot. I like how it really stands out, and good job thinking outside the box. Cool. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for submitting to Be a Photographer 6. We've got 4 more. Looking forward to see what you do, and I'll be back here tomorrow with another critique. All right, guys. Later. Peace.